Okay, I don't want to talk about abortion per se, whether it should be illegal or illegal. I want to talk about why it is that abortion's legality or illegality has become such a common issue, why it is that vast majority of countries have legalized abortion, at least under some circumstances, and why it is that women seek abortions in large numbers. Okay, and I think that the basic reasons for this are that to a large extent, human sexuality and human fertility are adapted to a world that no longer exists. For example, people talk about this whole idea of teen pregnancy as a kind of crisis, as a kind of modern crisis. Okay, but the fact is that throughout most of human history and prehistory, women were probably under 20 years old when they first gave birth. It was not at all uncommon, say centuries ago, for a 16-year-old woman to be married and give birth, for a 15-year-old to be married and give birth. Even you could go as low as 13, which is really a child, and even then it wouldn't necessarily cause a scandal, at least if she was married. And in prehistorical times, I think it was probably accepted that, almost as soon as you hit puberty, you had a baby. Okay, now there are three things that have changed in the modern era. Okay, from past eras. The first is that females, largely girls, not necessarily women, but teenage girls and women as well, both, were likely to die in childbirth or shortly after childbirth. The second thing is children were likely to die young. Many children did not make it to adulthood. Okay, and the third thing is in an agricultural society, and we were agricultural for much longer period than we were urbanized, it was necessary to have large families to work the farm. Okay, none of these things pertain today. Yet the average female becomes fertile when she's 12 or 13, and she's ready to give birth to her first child, assuming she wants children and will have children, and not all women do, when she's in her mid to late 20s. Okay, because we have, to a large extent, we have in some ways extended adolescence because of the necessity in a technologically advanced country, a technologically advanced world. We have extended the time it takes for a person to become self-supporting, much less to be able to support or contribute to the support of a child. Okay, and so we have an incredibly large gap between the time the female is first fertile and has strong sexual feelings and the time that she is comfortable and capable of giving birth to her first child. The other thing is that the human female is fertile from about age 12 to in her 40s. That's over 20 years. And she wants to have only between 1 to 3 children, and some women don't want any at all. Okay, so you have this huge gap. Now, it is true that after the last child, you can be sterilized. We have come up with ways to deal with this. But these ways to deal with this are not completely satisfactory. Because if they were satisfactory, we would not have a demand for abortion, much less an enormous controversy over it.